Boom. We out here. What's up, Allie?
What's up, bro?
How are you, my friend?
I'm blessed.
Not the little impromptu podcast. Oh, thank you, Ellie. We're just going to force kratom down your throat. Force feed you the kratom. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you very much. All right, Bula, my friend. You don't have to drink the whole thing at once.
Nah,
yeah,
man, I do it big. What's good?
Fucking welcome. Okay, take it all down. I like it.
Bula.
All right, my friend. Well, I appreciate you doing this last minute with me. I had somebody else set up to do this, but they canceled on me last minute. And as soon as I got the text, you walked in, said, oh, it's meant to be.
Anything for you, bro. I got you.
Appreciate you, man.
Come on, mama.
She's like, no, don't put me down. Priya, that's Priya's first appearance on the podcast.
For real?
Yeah, that's dope.
Well, don't like me, so.
No, it's the other one, and it's not just you. It's fucking men. She's just weird, Dolce.
Yeah.
All right, so I usually like to start off with a basic who are you and what do you do?
Damn. All right. My name's Allie. My wife and I own a food truck, Mellow Munchiez. I love to cook. I love to be myself. I love music. And I love to bring positivity and a different vibe. That's me.
Yeah, I like that, man. Your food truck's Mellow Munchiez Food Truck. Little backstory here. I was at Restaurant Depot.
Yeah, that's right.
Getting supplies. And I was in line. And Shardae, your wife, was in line behind me or next to me. And I saw she had a Shardae wellness shirt on.
Yeah, she used to work
And immediately I'm like, oh, medical marijuana. I know Shardae because I'm just like the kind of guy like, I think I got it from my mom. Like, I remember being like in Blockbuster. For those of you who don't know, there's this place called Blockbuster where you could rent videos from.
Fucking fire. Oh, you can cuss on here? My bad.
Oh, you can fucking cuss.
Yo, you know, we need to be able to smoke up in here, yo.
We can smoke up here.
Nah, I'm just playing.
We could. We
Nah, I
could.
ain't gonna
At
do.
this
You got
hour, we can
custom
smoke. No, they probably smoke too. So I remember being in line at Blockbuster in the 90s, and my mom would strike up conversation with the people in front of her, behind her. It was just kind of like instilled in me young that the people around you, even though they're, like stranger danger, I get it, but she was always just like cordial and strike up conversations. And I picked up on that. Anyway, fast forward 35 years, I'm standing in line and I just strike up conversation with Shardae. And I tell her, my wife and I, we own a kava bar. She said, my husband and I own a food truck. Oh, that's dope. You guys should come check us out sometime. A lot of times after conversations like that, you never see the person again, right?
Sorry to cut you off, but
please.
Y'all made an impact because that was the first thing she said when she walked into the door. She was like, I met these dope ass people today at Restaurant Depot. Yo, you got to come meet them. We came to see you the next day. So it's real,
That's dope. Well, I always try to lead with like positivity and being as genuine as possible. It was actually just me. Danielle wasn't there. Yeah. But I had also told my wife when I got home, like, yo, I met this lady. They have a food truck because, we don't serve food here. So we were dancing with the idea of having, a food truck here. We actually had other people like come and do it a couple times, or multiple people say they wanted to, never show up. Anyway, you guys came in the next day, and I was first hit with your fucking infectious smile, bro. And then I couldn't put it together, and I was like, oh shit, Restaurant Depot. So short story, very long. We then had a quick conversation. Maybe you could come by with the food truck, and since then, this has now become a regular spot for you guys, which is fantastic.
I'm here like every day, man. Thank you for introducing Kava and Kratom to me.
Yeah, man.
I can't do without it. Like, it helps me like go in the morning and it helps me fall asleep at night. So, like, yo, the universe works in such mysterious ways, man. Like,
mysterious and beautiful ways,
bro. Like, honestly, like you said, man. Like, we met, we kicked it off, but I was telling you the other day, I don't think you really understand how much of a positive impact you've had on our lives with the food truck. You've opened up your doors to let us have a place to come sell food, and have our customers have a cool and dope place to relax and sit down and enjoy their food and just be themselves. And like, y'all some cool ass people, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all never charge us a dime for anything, and like, it's different. You don't really find that nowadays, and if you do, it's not really real.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, let me see what I can get on the back end.
Ulterior motives.
Yeah. So I appreciate y'all for being real, man.
Well, the feeling is highly mutual, man. You know, you guys offer a service that we don't offer, and not only is it a service, it's fucking top notch, man.
Thank you.
You're an artist in the kitchen. It's very clear with your product. It's also very clear with your following. You know, I wasn't really sure what to expect. Honestly, I was a little bit worried that when you came and set up outside, that our business was not going to be able to support you hanging out outside. I was worried, like, oh man, he's going to hang out. We won't buy, maybe people won't buy food. But I was pleasantly surprised that you had a fucking line around the block of your own following who, you know, I guess you guys were on a small hiatus and were waiting to figure out where you were going to be parked next.
Yeah.
And it's been like that every night that you've been here.
So, it's like, I feel like a lot of people, they just talk a lot of shit and don't deliver.
Yep.
So like, if I can't deliver, I'm not gonna talk my shit.
Right.
I came in here, I was like, yo, Blake, like, let me charge me what you gotta charge me, you know, let me come out and do my thing. You gave me the opportunity. But I knew in the back of your head, you was like, what the fuck is this dude coming talking about? He's not gonna be able to bring all those customers. And I mean, we did, and like, y'all had mad people that came out to the truck too, and like,
that was also a pleasant surprise for us.
So in my head, I'm like, I look at things this way: you didn't charge me to come out. What the fuck am I here for? I need to bring you money,
right?
Because you giving me the opportunity to make money. So every customer I got, I made sure they got in here and came, and at least came to buy a soda or try out some crazy.
No, literally, you hand delivered every person who came to buy food from you. You walked in the building. It's like, yo, this is Blake, this is his wife Danielle, and this is their home away from home. And we had a huge influx in business from your clientele. Not only that, but we made great relationships with several of your clientele. I've already had, Rated R Fitness, Ant. I already had Ant on the podcast.
Ant's dope, man.
Yeah,
he's a cool guy.
He is a really interesting dude, man. We had a great conversation. We're gonna start carrying Godfrey. There's gentleman Godfrey who's one of your customers. He makes CMOS products. I've been taking his CMOS every day. We're gonna start carrying that product here.
Awesome.
It was just like synergy all across the board, man.
I actually just met Godfrey through his sister, Lauren. Shout out to Lauren. She's a teacher up in DC. My wife's best friend, like, since grade school. So
no shit.
Yeah, I just met him and we just clicked, like, and you know, he told me, yo, I sell CMOS, and I'm just like, I never really tried it before. So I just got some oil from him. Yeah. The hair oil. Check that out. Oh, really? Yeah, it's hair oil, skin oil. So I think it's
CMOS is fucking incredible. I don't know if you have done like the spoonfuls of it.
My dad used to make it back in the islands.
Okay.
But I never knew of Dominica.
Dominica?
Yeah, it's a little island, about 6 islands north of Trinidad and Tobago. You know where that is?
My geography is terrible. All right, so we're talking Caribbean.
Yeah. Right there. It's hot as hell over there.
Would it be west of Cuba? East of Cuba.
Southeast of Cuba.
South of Cuba.
Southeast of Cuba.
Whoa.
So like,
yeah. Is
So,
that near Jamaica also?
No. So Cuba is right a little bit north of Jamaica.
Okay.
And then like my islands, so it's like a chain of islands going down my islands all the way over here. So to the right.
Born and raised?
I moved over here in 2006.
Okay.
Yeah, 2006, yeah.
But you're, even though you look 25, you're, how old are you?
I'm 29.
Oh, 29.
Yeah, I'm 29.
Well, you don't look a day over 25 and a half.
I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah,
man.
Appreciate you. So did your family moved here?
Yeah, me and my dad. My mom's still over there. You know, me and my dad, rest his soul. He died last year. COVID COVID. But me and him moved over here 2006, like not really knowing what the fuck we wanted to do.
Right.
Just trying to get away from the bullshit of the island. It's a great place. It's a beautiful place, but you know when they say the grass is always greener on the other side.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, we came here looking for something better. Didn't really get it at first. You know, bouncing around from place to place. You know, but my dad, like, he's strong and he's like super hard-headed, and he's very determined to make shit happen. So no matter what we was going through, like he was so focused on, like, no matter how broke we was, he was like, you know, you still gonna play sports, you still gonna go to school, he was a provider. So I feel like I learned a lot from him and applied that to my life. So, but I love it over here, man. Haven't been back since.
Really? You haven't been to visit?
No, I haven't been back. My mom, I send for my mom every once in a while. Come over, she spends a couple months, but that's it.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So, cooking. Was this something y'all did at home? This passion for cooking that you have?
I can't say, okay, you could be like, oh man, I love to cook. I love watching the knife cut through the meat. I feel like for some people, that's real, but for some people, that's bullshit.
Right.
I love the feeling that I get when people get to try my food.
Yeah.
And then they're like, this is good as hell. But I know fake shit.
Right.
Good as hell that they come back and get more.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what makes me feel good. To know that I can impact somebody's life with a plate, you know? So, like, I love what I do, and I can think about it. I'm always thinking about it. So to me, it's not work anymore.
Right.
It's more like, damn, I'm gonna just go tomorrow and do what I love to do, and hopefully I get the outcome that I want. So
how
not
long
every day
is in the kitchen? How long have you been a
5
chef?
years. 5 years.
Yeah.
Like taking it serious, 5 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you start off as like a cook in a restaurant, or did you just dive in right from the get, doing your own thing?
So my wife, when she was pregnant with my daughter, like I'll go out, spend all this money, and then she'll just throw it up. So I was like, I gotta learn how to cook. I knew a little something, but like not good enough to be like, oh, I'm gonna go cook for this person or charge this person for some food.
Yeah, right.
It was more like, damn, I gotta make sure this lady eats some good food. So I'm on YouTube, a little bit of her telling me what to do, like, you know, to add in the seasonings, because everybody knows how they like their food.
Right.
She knows what she wants. I just make it how she want it, and you just gotta pay attention. So I feel like, and it just became like a lot of muscle memory, a lot of watching people. Shout out to Chef Sean. Shout out to Howard Felch. Those are the two chefs that like took me under their wings. And like Chef Sean, you can follow him on Instagram. I think it's Sean Wilder Foods.
Wilder.
Yeah, Wilder.
Sean Wilder, SEAN.
Yeah. Cool dude. Like I didn't even know how to sharpen a knife, bro, when I first started. Like, and this is the first day I had my food truck. I'm looking at this shit like, what do I do with this? And then he's like, you hold it like this. And I'm like, wow, it's a lot of things, but I want to learn. That's the thing. I don't know everything.
Yeah.
I know the smartest person on the earth don't know everything.
That's right.
So I'm always willing to learn. So like, I just soak up everything that anybody in my life, my wife's calling. Anybody in my life, like, they can teach me something, I'm ready to learn. And I just run with it.
There's such an importance in that humility. Mm-hmm. So many people, once they get a little bit of traction, a little bit of success under their belt, you can't tell them nothing.
Dude, and that shit pisses me off, because you can look at LeBron and know LeBron is the best basketball player ever. Sorry, my bad. Some people can disagree
some people aren't
with
gonna
that.
Like that, right?
But it is what it is. He's one of the best, but he still has a coach, correct?
Right.
He still has people that he has a mentor. I'm sure he has a lot of retired NBA players he looks up to. So the most talented man on the face of the earth still looks up to somebody, still learns every day. I'm no better than the next man. I could go talk to a homeless person right now, and he could give me some gems that could make me 500,000 next year.
Yep.
So you never know where your next blessing is gonna come from.
That's one of the big things I've learned from just the short time I've been doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Is you never know like the wealth of knowledge that other people may have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's really nice to sit down and talk to people. And one of the big motivators for me on this podcast was to learn from people.
Yeah.
You know, learn about what they're passionate about on different perspectives of life. And it's, you know, it was a lesson that I had to learn because I was pursuing a music career for a while.
Yeah, I gotta hear something, right? I never heard any of your music, bro.
Well, you're welcome. I'm sparing you from the nonsense.
No, bro, for real. I'll tell you how it is. If it's trash, I'll let you know if it's trash. If it's good, I'll let you know if it's good.
All right, I'll play you some after the podcast.
Yeah, I got you.
But you couldn't tell me nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That was a problem for me. I in rap, in hip hop, there's a certain necessary ego. Like you gotta know you're the best.
Yep.
Because nobody else is. You gotta do that for yourself. But there's also an importance, and especially when you're working with other people, of humility. And I've said it on the podcast before. Like I had to fail at different things in my life. Get that so she knows that it's all good.
Hey, love.
She don't know she's
What's
on
up?
the podcast
Guess what I'm
right
doing?
now.
I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah, she's gonna be watching this later and be able to see the kids. What's up, Shardae?
Yeah, without you, I know. But he said you can double back. I got you. It was kind of last minute. I just stopped by to get a tea, and then he was like, "Ellie." So, yeah. But I'll see you in a little bit. I'll call you when I'm done. Okay.
Tell her it's like an hour.
I got you. Love you. Yeah.
So for those of you who are listening and not watching right now, Ali took a quick phone call from his amazing wife, Shardae. Shout out, Shardae.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Please, families first, man. So I had to learn this humility from failing. For me, I needed to fail and fall on my face. Actually, it was my wife who, not long ago, a few years ago now, kind of held up a mirror to me and showed me this kind of egocentric thing I was doing. And I realized that the woman I love, who admires me, is telling me I need to make a change in the way I'm approaching things. Like a lot of times I would lead my conversations with I, right? Even though I was working with her and other people. And she had to say, like, you know, it's not you, it's us, it's we.
Yo.
And that was a big shift for me to be able to realize that, you know, no matter what I'm doing, there's most likely other people involved. And it's always important to lead with we, you know, we are doing this.
You think that's based on how we were raised? From like the background of watching our fathers take the role and like forgetting the fact that he is being like basically his woman has his back. Like they can't do it without a woman. But I feel like we never let them know back in the day versus now. So
well, for me, I was actually raised by my mom. I was raised by a single mom.
Okay.
I had my sister, who was my older sister, but she moved out when she was like 17. Shout out my sister. She's done a fucking incredible job. Beautiful family, and she's a fucking definition of a boss-ass bitch.
Wow.
But for a long time, aside from the time I spent with my sister in the house, it was kind of like I was an only child. And then I started, like at 17, I moved in with my dad. I started pursuing this music career, and he traveled, 250 days out of the year. So a lot of the things I approached, it was I. It was, I think it was a distasteful quality of myself that I didn't realize that, there was I often had teams in music that were helping me with stuff, but it was I don't know, I had this ego about myself. But anyway, what I'm getting at is the importance of humility and the importance of understanding that you can learn from anybody, which is what you were getting at. And I think it's a powerful thing, and it only just opens up more opportunities when you're willing to say, I don't know everything, you know? So I respect what you're saying, man.
Yeah. Life will hit you with some real messed up stuff, man, and like humble you.
Yeah.
Like when I feel like that's what, I don't know if you believe in God or not, but
I do now.
Okay. So like I always feel like sometimes as a human we tend to forget like all of our blessings.
Sorry.
I'm the same way too. I want to see
Yellow.
Yeah, so like I feel like sometimes when we tend to forget that, like he'll be like, man, give me that shit. Like it's like you're not getting it. You too happy right now. You're lost. Like you're not getting. You need to appreciate the little things you have. You complaining about shit. So I'm gonna take away what you have, so you can see what life is like without.
Yeah.
You feel me? And I feel like that's some real shit I learned like recently, like from being like here, or even just feeling like you're here.
Yep.
And then he's like, some shit just happened. It's like boom, and you're like, damn, I need to humble myself because I could be in the same position again and again.
But that's the benefit. That's that whole, like, sometimes you got to take 10 steps back to take 2 giant leaps forward. And sometimes those 10 steps back you take are not intentional. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, just like you said, it's God saying, like, whoa, pump your brakes, hot shit. Yeah. You know? Like, you got to realize, and then hopefully when you are humbled, that's when you start to count your blessings.
Yeah.
You know? And
it's sad because, like what I practice now is, no matter if it's bad or good, you still thank. You still give jobs thanks and praises, because it's like, bro, I got 2 arms, I got 2 legs, I got 2 eyes. It sounds so cliche when you say it, but it's like, why do we need drugs to let us appreciate it? Like, we gotta drop some shrooms or acid to be like, oh man, this is such a beautiful day. Oh, it's so beautiful outside. I love you, man. I love you. We so scared to say shit like that. Our mind is not, I guess it's because of all the fucked up shit that's happening around us. Our mind is not able to operate like that, but we need to, because I'm telling you, he's gonna take that shit away.
It's like every day is the most amazing cycle. What do you when you do psychedelic?
Yeah.
Every day, actual life is the wildest psychedelic trip you could ever be on.
For real. I 100% understand what you're saying right now. For real.
And a lot of us, we get, whether it's this fucking like consumer-based society that we live in, which forces us to have like tunnel vision. Yo! What's up, homies? That I think like the world forces us to like, or like not, it like wants us to not realize how beautiful life is, and not realize how grateful we should be, because we're constantly being told, like, you need nicer things.
Yep.
You need a prettier girlfriend. You need a better car, right? So the world is telling us to not be thankful for what we have, because it's not keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
You know? And sometimes it's failure, sometimes it's a like a psychedelic trip. But you should just be able to like wake up, and like the 2 arms and 2 legs thing, like you said, it sounds cliche, but fuck, the amount of people, like there's this one guy we watch who skateboards with no legs.
You showed me, he had like
no legs.
Like, but he got a smile on his face and he doing what he loved to do.
And he's good, and he's fucking hitting rails and kick flips. He's skateboarding with no legs. I think the one I showed you maybe was the blind skateboarder.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah. It's very similar. Yeah. Like there's this kid who skateboards with like a like the stick that helps you see or maneuver, and he's skateboarding. And I've made a joke to our friends in here. I'm like, the next time I hear anybody saying how hard their life is or what they can't do, I'm gonna bring up the blind skateboarder.
Facts.
You know, so one, you have to be grateful for vision and for your legs and all your appendages. And two, you got to realize that nothing is impossible. You know, all it is effort, you know, and gratitude.
Facts.
You know, waking up and being thankful.
Sometimes it's hard. It's hard. And I feel like maybe we just need to learn what to do when it is hard. Like for example, if I punch you in your eye, what you gonna do to heal? You're gonna put some ice on it.
Right.
So what's the ice to us waking up in the morning and not, like, we just feel so down, like, damn, fuck today. So what you gonna do to make yourself feel better? I feel like everybody needs to have that. Not everybody got that why. Like, why am I up today?
Oh, sense of purpose.
Yeah, I feel like that's what made me have the drive I have, because my why is my wife, my kids. So it's like, you know, my mom, like, so it's like some people, they don't have that.
No.
So I tend to see why they can look at life like that, like, fuck this, like, this is too much, I'm ready to end it, you know. So I guess what I'm saying is I don't want to, like, put too much judgment on the people that don't really appreciate life, because at the end of the day, they just don't understand. It's the lack of knowledge. So sometimes you need to have it stripped away to let you kind of understand. But I don't want it to get that far. It's like, what do we do to heal ourselves in the morning to say, all right, man, I'm going to have a good day today. I'm going to make sure I have a good day today. Even if I got fucking thousands of dollars in debt, or, you know, I lost something yesterday, or, you know, I got robbed last week. You know,
you got to be able to, and I think we were talking about gratitude. It's almost like it's the best tool you can use to shift your mindset from sadness and frustration to hope.
Yeah,
is gratitude. Because once you start thinking about the things that you're thankful for, and it starts to impact your thought process. Like, I'm thankful that I got to wake up today. I'm thankful for the opportunity to kill it. I'm thankful that I got a refrigerator to keep my fucking tea in. You know, I'm thankful, I mean, just for everything. Then all of a sudden you realize, wow, this is like, today's actually a blessing. You know? And I had, you know, I do my best that when I come across a challenge or something that really pisses in my Cheerios, I say it out loud, Blake, this is an opportunity to come up with a solution. Because if I don't do that, then I'm admitting defeat from the beginning. Priya, easy. We got a kennel downstairs. You got to know that when the world challenges you, that you are capable of overcoming that challenge. Because like you said about God, I feel that God doesn't put anything in front of us that he doesn't know we can handle. He or she, you know. Ariana Grande said God is a woman, so we don't know, right?
Hey, God is very organized.
Yeah.
It might be.
Yeah, nothing is, it may be. Nothing is an accident, I don't think, you know?
Nah.
So I just try to stay humble, stay grateful, and this thing we do in our family is the next right thing.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah,
I heard you
and
say that
it was my grandfather who would say it to my mom, and then my mom said it to me. Blake, like, all you can really do is the next right thing.
Is it? All right, so when you say that, are you like talking about the next right thing to cover up the past bad thing?
Well, no,
like, not really cover up to, like, okay, like, damn, for example, a man that's been to prison for 10 years for selling drugs, attempted murder, whatever, you know, like, the next good thing for him is like, are you trying to?
Well, you can't change the past.
Yeah.
The past is done. You also can't get anywhere looking in the rear view, right? But the future is still unwritten. Even though some people say it's like it's fate and whatnot, in order to end up on the path of, like, your best path, because you're going to get to crossroads every day. You have choices, right? And even though like you always end up where you're supposed to be, you could make the wrong choice and do the next not correct right thing and end up on a path of despair or sadness or frustration. So when I say the next right thing, say I come across, I don't know, this is so weird. Like I come across $100 bill on the ground, right?
Yeah.
Like the next right thing to do would be to find the person it belongs to.
Yeah.
You know?
Man, that's hard to do nowadays. If I find
$100 on the, sometimes it's like God was blessing me today.
I ain't gonna lie. If I find 100, ain't nobody here around to be like, hey, bro, that's my 100. It's my 100.
Well, that's the thing. If nobody's around. Okay, for instance, I find a $100 bill on the ground in here.
Yeah.
This is the challenge of the next right thing.
Okay.
$100 bills on the ground. I come across it. Yeah. Now, this is a real challenge. It's cash. It's untraceable, and I need that $100.
That's real.
But the next right thing is to say, did anybody lose 100?
Yeah.
Then somebody's going to go in their pocket, and it's going to have been their last $100. Yeah. And they're going to come to you and say,
that's
bro.
True. It's hard. It's hard to think like that.
It is.
It's hard to like not be selfish.
Absolutely.
It really is, bro. And I applaud you. Like for you to, if that ever happened,
I wasn't always like that.
Yeah.
I wasn't always like that, man. I got shameful, regretful things I've done in my past where I only thought about myself and I took advantage of situations because it was beneficial for me at the time. But I'll tell you what, shame and guilt and regret are powerful, powerful tools of correction. Yeah. I've had many sleepless nights of shameful things that I had done where I had stolen from a friend. This was in my teenage years, and I stole something. And I still lose sleep over it because it was like, I mean, to me, it was like innocent. I was a young kid. I didn't really think it through. I saw opportunity and I took it, but I lost that friendship. I tarnished my good name, and I fucking have I'll probably have shame for that till the day I die, man.
Facts.
So when I come across these opportunities to come up, I think, is this the next right thing to do? Or is the next right thing to do to avoid that and grind it out? And I think the universe rewards you, or God rewards you for doing that next right thing. You give that $100 back to the poor asshole who dropped it, who was his last $100. I believe that the universe will then reward you for that, and you might come up on something even better, more legitimately and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think it's a very hard thing to do. I think that's probably the best explanation of understanding the next right thing, you know? And the reason I say it so often is because I need to be reminded when I come across it. You know, what am I going to do here? Because I'll tell you what, if I had dropped the $100 bill.
Man, I would hope somebody get back to me. I feel you. Yeah, it's true. It's true. But many times, bro, it's like, I just be wanting to do good stuff. It sounds lame, right? But it's like, you feel good after. Like,
oh, God, yeah.
You feel so good. I was at Home Depot the other day, and I seen a young couple. When I mean young couple, I say older couple. They were struggling with this toilet in a box, you know, toilet, because they trying to put it in the back seat of the car.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn. I was like, all right, I got you. Put the seat up, and I'll push it in for you.
Yep.
And then put it in. And then the dude, you know, he started reaching around, give me some money. I'm like, it's straight, man. I was like, here, what? You just helped somebody else out.
Right.
And then like they was looking at me so crazy. His wife stopped, and she's like, Why'd you do that? Like, what made you stop and do that? I was like, I don't know. And I was like, I'm walking to the car. I'm like, why did she ask me that? And I'm like, whoa, we don't really do just good shit anymore.
Not
out
in
of
this
the
day and age. Yeah.
Like, everybody's so scared of everybody.
Oh.
Like, everybody, like, you remember back in the day when you used to watch TV and, like, the neighbors used to come. When you moved in, the neighbors come give you a plate of food, or like, hi, we baked this upside down apple, pineapple cake.
Yeah,
I would love for you to try it. It's bullshit like that. I'm like, you never see that now in 2022.
Well, now the doorbell rings and you're not expecting somebody. You turn off the lights real quick.
Facts. I do that. I find myself doing that. I'd be like, shh. The dogs start barking. I'd be like, shh. Hey, shut up.
I'm not expecting guests.
And you go out and like, oh, Sonya, come in. Yeah.
Well, the neighborly thing is, you know, I mean, I see both sides of it. I live in a condo area, and we sometimes I just don't want to talk to the neighbors. You know, I like avoid like it's just nice to have that
I
peace.
want to know if somebody's building a bomb next to me.
Yeah,
that's what I want to know. So
true.
when I see somebody move in, I'm like, hey, how are you? You know, my name's Allie. What's your name?
Right.
Hell yeah. As soon as you give me your name, of course I'm gonna Google the fuck who you are. And then, you know, I'm trying to figure out, you know, if there any sex offender. I have kids.
Yeah.
I always want to know my surroundings.
Yeah, it's important to understand your surroundings.
And I feel like at the end of the day, I'm a black dude. I live in a kind of nice neighborhood, and I get this look sometimes. You know, like I'm not the type. I don't think I'm the type you want to see come knocking at your door, introducing myself. So it's like, I understand. It's weird, and I'm just trying to change that.
Yeah.
I know I can't change the world, but I can change the way how people view people like me.
Yeah.
So, hell yeah, I'm gonna stop and help you out. I'm gonna show you that not everybody that look like me is the person that you
that
know.
Was the first thing I thought when you said that you helped this couple. It's like, of course, their first response is like, oh, what a nice young man, you know, thinking to themselves like, you know, and it's these weird preconceived notions that some, especially older people, have that are just fucking total bullshit.
Sometimes I get mad, but it's like they don't understand.
Yeah.
They don't know no better. If you spend 10 years of your life listening to your parents, or
I was gonna say it was learned, it was taught that.
Yeah, listening to the news and listening to shit that don't really, I hate to say matter, but like if it's negative, it don't matter.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't like to get sad about it, but I just want to be accepted and like loved and not judged. Like sometimes I notice a lot of it when people come to the food truck, and like I'm not the type to be like, oh, I own this, or oh, this is mine, or nah. When they ask, I always say we all own this food truck.
Yeah.
Even though the name, whoever's working with me, that name is not on the LLC.
On the paperwork, yep.
But y'all work here, so y'all, I want you to treat my business like it's your business.
Yep.
So I'm not in this for the clout, but like I always get this look, or sometimes like you own this truck, like, or how did you get this truck, or how, like it's always like, I don't believe you could have something like that. You could run a business, or I don't know if it's my paranoia, but
no, some people are just, you know, bred that way, and that's like the thought process. And you know, I couldn't ever imagine what a young black man faces on a daily basis in this country. You know, I couldn't imagine it. Now, some of my closest friends on the planet are black, but I never knew they were my black friend or person of color. That's also like a new thing for me. Like, if I say that I have a black friend, is that like racist?
No. But
should I be saying person
you shouldn't,
of color?
I don't think it's necessary to even say that, unless somebody was to be like,
it's racist for me to even
who are
say
you?
it.
Like, let's say if somebody check you, right? In this day and age, we're so worried about protecting our culture.
Yeah.
For example, somebody would be like, "Hey man, you rap. Why you rapping?
Yeah.
You this is our thing." That's not how I look at it.
I understand.
So
some people do.
So it's like, who am I to tell you what the fuck to do? Who am I to tell you what culture to follow? If I wanted to go be Muslim, hell yeah. If I wanted to practice Buddhism, hell yeah. Do what you comfortable with doing. So
yeah, but white people have fucking stolen black creativity and black culture for a long time.
And we should be proud of it by now. I think it's acknowledged, but now it's past the point. For example, if I have a black owned business, right? Does that mean I only want black customers?
No.
No. I want all that money.
Absolutely.
So
I like to say everybody's dollar is green.
Everybody's dollar
whether
is
it's with
green.
race or politics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that to say this, like hell yeah, somebody want to steal your culture, but if somebody's stealing something that you created, that means that shit is good.
Oh yeah, imitation is the highest form of flattery. Yeah. My thing always was like I was heavily influenced by hip hop.
And that's fine. I never understood why people were so against when some other race tried to jump in and make something happen. It's not like I could understand if you're taking it and being like, oh, we created this and this is our thing. Nah, you're just.
My whole thing was I always felt like I was doing my best to pay homage to.
Facts.
You know? And maybe, I don't know. I guess, honestly, while I was doing it, I wasn't ever really thinking about it in that way. I just loved it, you know? I loved rap music. I loved the way stories were told. I'm a wordsmith. I was always big into, like, English class was always my best class. So when I came across this art form, you know, I think the first rap song I learned was Eazy-E, Give Me That Nut. And some pussy is the place to be. Always fucking is the life for me.
So I'm gonna go listen to that. I've never heard that.
It is. It's sad that that song, and then he passed away from AIDS. It was like getting some pussy should not have been the place to be, bro. But rap music was in me from a young age.
Yeah.
As soon as I started reciting rap lyrics at like 13. My friends were like, yo, like I was reciting other people's lyrics.
Yeah.
And they're like, yo, that's pretty fucking good. Like I could keep right up and whatnot, like Outkast. So I'm like, oh, maybe I can do this for myself. And I always just loved creating something. Mm-hmm. And then I moved to the South. I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I would be like the only white dude in the club. I never looked at it that way because I think I was naive, clearly. You know?
Nah, I feel like you just feel comfortable.
Very.
And maybe that shit just came out like super real. And like they accepted it. Like whoever was around you was like, yo, this man, he bought this shit.
That's like, exactly what it was. I had a close group of friends who were like, they took me under their wing. I went to every gathering, and you know, I had a cosign. I didn't understand the value of the cosign or the necessity of the cosign.
He good. He with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sad, but that's how it works.
It's true. I mean, especially after the fucking history
even
of this
if you
country.
look at it the other way around, like for example, if I was to go, let's say, you know, I got millions of dollars and I want to go invest in something, I'm gonna need a white face to go stand in front of, you know, this person to be like, hey man, this guy's with me. I'm not gonna be able to walk into a meeting with a bunch of rich white guys and just make them be like, hey, this is what I got planned. Let's try to make this work. They'll fucking laugh at me.
Yo, which is crazy to me.
If I have the backing of a lawyer, some big time, you know, big time guy, yeah, they're gonna be like, all right, this guy might be doing something. But that's the society we live in.
It is.
I just gotta deal with it, and I gotta figure out how I can maneuver through that motherfucker without getting cut. So I just accept this shit, man. It is what it is. Like, it's sad, but it is what it is.
It's very sad. It's you know, I think a lot of people don't understand what it's like to be a young black man driving a car.
Yeah.
You know,
Facts.
There's people who will never understand that.
Scary.
And when they talk about it, they think, well, just obey the law. Yeah. And it's like, that's nonsense.
So listen to this, okay? I'm a business owner, and I have to protect my business and myself. If I get robbed, I'm not gonna pick the money over my life. Hell yeah, take that shit.
Right.
But in my head, I have to keep my protection on me. But sometimes when I'm leaving the truck and I'm driving home late night and I'm like, damn, like I want to put it in my trunk, but I'm like, shit, somebody could pull up at me on the light. Like, you know, you thinking of all this stuff, but not that. That's not the only thing you're thinking of.
Right.
If I get pulled over, he asked me, you got a gun in here? my answer is automatically gonna be no.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like
you can't say yes.
No, hell no. It's different. It's completely different, and I feel like we don't want to admit it, but it's true. It's real shit. I feel like a lot of cops, whether you black or white, black cops too. Yeah. They're afraid. They're scared.
Right.
I don't blame you for that. I blame the dudes you work for. They need to create a better procedure.
Wow.
To how you approach a vehicle, how you talk to people.
Yep.
Protecting yourself. There's so many ways that we can go about this shit.
Yeah.
But we choose the way that I guess works right now. But it's hard as a black man. I'm not gonna use that as an excuse. I'm gonna get that shit regardless.
Yeah.
But
it's not that you're using it as an excuse. It's something you have to be mindful of.
Yes.
It's something you'll have to teach your children. You know.
Wow.
Again,
I just had me and my son. Like my son's teacher called me today. It was like, yo, he's talking in class again. Like, please talk to him. I don't want to write him up. I'm like, cool. I spoke to him. He was like, first thing he did was he tried to lie to me and all that. But I was like, Jay, listen. Like, you gotta be real. Like at the end of the day, I don't care if you're talking in class, but if your teacher tells you to shut up, okay? But the fact is, bro, don't be out here doing what you see other kids doing. You don't have the same opportunity. You're not built like them. Your family don't have the same pockets as they do.
Yeah.
So you really have to think of everything you do out here as a young black man in this society. It's sad that I had to have a conversation with my son about this. You feel me? Like, like sometimes I'd be like, I don't even want him to go outside and play because like I don't know, like what's gonna happen. He go across the street to the park, somebody get into a fight, he end up being in the wrong place, wrong time, bomb, like, and to know he was shot by the people that's supposed to be protecting him.
And it's very real fear. I mean, it's not like this is a made up thing. There are instance after instance where
too many.
It's like it doesn't make any sense, and a lot of it's been caught on camera. And I remember specifically that one kid who must have been 8 or 9 years old. He had a toy gun at the park.
Yeah, and you could see it from the surveillance camera, the orange tip on the end of the gun, and I'm like, okay, like
there was another kid in a stairwell who a cop came across him in a stairwell and killed. It's a very real fear. Another thing that's very frustrating to me is the people who take advantage of that fear and use it to create more divide. We've seen it a lot over these past couple years where I watched it happen with these Black Lives Matter protests were taken hostage by bad actors who wanted to make it look violent, right? I don't believe that Black Lives Matter was going and burning down cities. I believe that those protests were hijacked by anarchists. I've seen video of it, of a Black Lives Matter protest, white guy in like all black, right? Start smashing windows.
I seen that video. With the umbrella?
Yes.
Yeah, I seen that one.
Yes, and then the girl comments on the thing like, yo, that's my boyfriend. Those are my boots or something, or that was my umbrella or something. So these are called agent provocateurs. They are government agents that are sent into
to stir shit up.
To stir shit up. How about the pallets of bricks?
Is it? I heard about that shit too, but it's hard. It's like we tend to that shit. We forget about it.
Oh, everybody forgets very quickly.
Like, but it's just scary that they would go so deep to just like change one thing. Like that was all insurance stuff, right? Like basically, like the companies would pay people to go damage their stuff, say they lost a bunch of money, so they can claim their insurance. I think it's more
nefarious than that, man.
Yeah.
I think it's potentially our government that put these people in place to stir the pot so that it can be painted as something it's not. so that they can, round people up and arrest them. And, not for nothing, I think they did the same thing on the January 6th thing.
Or in
the Capitol.
Capitol?
Yeah, I think obviously there were some fucking morons there who, as soon as people were like, we're going inside, they followed suit. But I think the initial berserkers of that were these anarchists who were getting people riled up. There's a video of this like tall white dude, right, who is saying, we need to go in the Capitol, we need to go inside, right? I wish I could pull it up on here, but my computer gets crazy. Well, all these videos surface, and then people in the background are like, fuck no, we're not fucking going inside.
Yeah.
Well, come to find out, this dude is a federal agent. He was on the FBI most wanted or wanted list for this thing. Figured out who he was, taken off the list, right? So there's these agent provocateurs that are sent to cause chaos and sent to discredit any sort of valid movement or potentially valid movement. And I think that, unfortunately, the legitimate Black Lives Matter protests that happened last year after that horrendous killing of George Floyd, along with hundreds of others. I mean, there's no anything other than taking to the streets to say we're not okay with this. I think it's terrible that it was taken advantage of. It was hijacked by people who thrive in anarchy. There were these pallets of bricks that were dropped off in the middle of the road during these protests. Nobody knows where the bricks came from, right? And one person grabs a brick, another person grabs a brick, and then you get this frenzy, this like mob mentality that happens with anybody, no matter what color you are. When we get in a group and the energy gets really high, we all start
crazy.
and we stop thinking. I mean, it happens at fucking football rallies and basketball, like when colleges win championships, there'll be 10,000 white kids in the street setting police cars on fire if their team lost. It's this mob mentality that happens. But to me, it just infuriates me that a legitimate cause of protest against atrocious behaviors can be hijacked like that. That's my personal belief on what happened with the absolute chaos. And what it does, it also then gives the authorities a reason to respond with violence.
Yeah.
Right?
Facts. That's true.
It turns a peaceful protest into a riot, which was never the intention. I think obviously this, there's systematic shit that happens in our country that needs to be changed. Yeah. But I feel like for the most part, the people who went there to be that voice of we need change.
Steal your cookies.
Oh, please. I don't think that the plan was to burn the city down. Yeah. I think it was hijacked by anarchists,
What?
I know this is like, it's deep and it's a weird conversation for like, a white dude to be having. Sometimes I worry, like, is having an opinion do I even have a right to have an opinion? Because I want to be part of the solution. I want to be the voice for change.
I feel like you're on the right path. Of course, yes. Yeah. And you do have a right, because at the end of the day, you're who they're going to listen to. Because they're going to think, oh, if he can, like, he's a white man, he's doing it, I can do it too. Like, I hate to make it sound like that, but it's real shit. Yeah. Like, if I was to go into City Hall and talk to them about some shit that's happening to black people, think they're going to fucking listen to me?
Right.
No, but if it's coming from a white man, that they can be like, oh, I got his attention. He like, I'm speaking to him, and then you're showing them what you seeing.
Right. But I worry that... some of the black community may be like, who are you to even speak on this? It was, your ancestors. But, the other thing is, too, is I have Jewish heritage, right? My father's side of the family is Jewish. And there's been this synergy, and that might be a very crude term to use, between black people and Jewish people. And I think it's because of the history of oppression and genocide, right? Like the Jews, like the Holocaust and whatnot, and I think even Egypt, there was a bunch of Jews that were slaves in that. Now, obviously, I have no idea about anything of that, but I wonder if part of my DNA just leads with empathy and understanding. You know, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but some of the early, like the Underground Railroad, right? I think that there were some key white people who were Jews who were like safe houses and whatnot. Again, I am very ignorant on all of it. Right.
It had to be. I believe you on that one because at the end of the day, in some of the books they were talking about how they were hiding in plain sight.
Right.
And in order to do that, of course, you need a cover up. Right. I feel like you might have had a white dude on the wagon with a horse with a bunch of slaves in the back taking them to freedom.
Right.
Of course. So, that's the thing that we were talking about earlier. Not everyone should be painted in the same picture.
Yeah.
You feel me? We shouldn't say all white people are bad, or black people are this way, all Jewish people. You know, like we shouldn't. That shouldn't even be. We should give everybody the opportunity to show who they are.
Yeah. Well said.
For example, when I first met Danielle,
yes,
I thought she didn't like me.
Really?
Listen.
Interesting.
But me, as who I am, I gave her the chance. I understood she was reading me. I look down, I see you guys have a lot of stones. You have a lot of crystals. She feeds off of energy.
Yes.
First thing she was talking about, I love your wife's energy. So I know that she was just waiting to see what made her connect to me. So
interesting.
You have to give people time.
Yeah. Well, just so you know, my wife adores you both.
Oh, I love your wife. Yeah. She's awesome.
But I think that's a really interesting perspective because you never know, right? And maybe what you've dealt with in the past, certain people's attitude or a look ended up turning into like, they fucking don't like me.
Facts.
So if you feel like you get that vibe, you're like, oh wait, is this again? You know?
I'll give you 4 hours. I'll give you 10 days. I'll give you a year. I'll give you as long as you need to
sorry.
to figure out who I am and if you like me. If you don't, you don't. It is what it is. But I am gonna show you. You're gonna get it black and white. This is me. This is what you get. Goofy, real,
passionate, talented.
Like I don't know, bro. Like,
well, you know what's funny is I wasn't sure exactly what we were gonna talk about, right? Figured we talk about the food truck and whatnot, but I think there's something very valuable about this conversation that needs to be had, and maybe we can over time dig deeper into this, and maybe because I think I have questions. I have questions about behaviors of mine or thought processes that I never want to offend anybody, and I always want to. My biggest thing is I want to be accepted. You know what I mean? I have this because I don't like when people don't like me. It fucking kills me,
dude. I used to be like that, but then
easy. She's got a bad back, so sometimes she gets a little bit. Priya, easy, baby. She'll forget. Sorry, guys. But I want them to be able to play. Just keep an eye. We are live from Hakuna. We've got all sorts of shit happening in the background.
So good.
I didn't mean to cut you off. My apologies.
No, you good, bro.
But what we're saying is, acceptance. I always want to be accepted, and I want people to like me. And I don't know what I'm really getting at. I think the short story is the conversation about like the relationship between the black community and the white community in this time where the media is trying to pit us against each other.
Of course.
And there are atrocious behaviors that are happening from people in power, and there have been for fucking centuries,
Blake, I don't feel like we can change everybody. I feel like who want to be in a circle can be in a circle. And I feel like who wants to be in the circle will be in a circle.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel comfortable with a guy that I knew was a KKK but now he's my friend.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be comfortable.
Yeah.
So I guess like what I'm trying to get to is like
it feels like we can't save the world.
It's and it's true. We can't. But our younger kids, the younger generation, like they have hope. We can't change these people that already have these things impugned into their brains. You feel me? Like I feel like you can't just brainwash them and expect them to be back to normal. They're gonna be triggered by a lot of things. Like I'm sure it's times where a white guy that hated black people and now he's just starting to kind of get along with them, you know, because of 2022 or whatever, you know. Like I'm sure it's like a few times where he's gonna be triggered and like, you know, start having memories of what made him who he was. So I guess what I'm getting is like, don't put it so much on yourself. It's not your fault.
Okay.
It's not your fault.
That.
You did what you needed to do.
Right.
The ancestors that did what they did, at that point you gotta just disown them. They're not your peoples.
Right.
You know where your head's at.
Yeah, mind you, my ancestors far removed from all of that, but that doesn't mean that I don't know people whose ancestors were probably very involved in the slave trade.
See,
you know, because I was in the South, so you know, like I know there were like family bloodlines that probably, you know, were involved in slavery, and I'm sure it's their great grandparents and whatnot. What was I gonna say? We said we can't save the world, and but our children, you know, it's like racism, color isn't seen on a playground. Little kids don't see it. It's learned.
Yeah.
It's learned in the home, and sometimes it's not intentionally taught. It's picked up on through language. Yeah. You know, and I've seen it firsthand.
And the lack of just being open to being around another race, like going to a cookout with some black people where you're probably the only white person.
I was there. That was my 20s and my life. I was the white guy at the cookout.
Can you believe that there's probably some white kids that ain't even seen a black person in person?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's certain parts of this country in Appalachia and that where, you know, so they've never seen a black person.
I guess that's why I don't go. My first thing is to some people, their first instinct is to like get mad. But it's like you can't always get mad, bro. You gotta sometimes understand where the other person's coming from.
Maybe try to help teach.
Yeah, like for example, like me and Ellie was talking earlier, and you know, conversation on you know, trans and you know what I should call you, and like it's very delicate.
Yes.
It's like walking on eggshells. But I feel like in this day and age we have to okay, for example, if somebody's trying to learn who you are or trying to figure something out where they don't want to offend you by saying it, you should give them the chance to. For example, I feel like in the community, like the gay community, trans, like they're always on alert. So it's like you don't know me, but no, I'm trying to get to know you. It's not no disrespect. Right. You know, what should I call you? You know, how can I call you bro? Like, can you know, like what's up, girl? Like, it's not like I'm not trying to be funny. I really just want to know what triggers you. For example, me and you just met. You have a lot of black friends that you somehow they're comfortable with you cracking black jokes, right? But that's something that triggers me. You don't know that. Right. You might pop off a joke one day and I just get mad and be like,
to be clear, this is completely hypothetical.
Yeah, hypothetical, sorry. So like, you know, that's what I'm saying. Give somebody a chance to show you who they are and get to know you.
Yeah, and sometimes it's important to lead from a place of teaching, right? Because maybe some people are saying things that they don't realize is hurtful. You know, they just, like you, in a sense, they just think they're being funny because that's just was their sense of humor in other circles. And it, rather than like you said, leading with anger, it may be good to lead with like, hey man, I respect you, I know you. That's not funny.
Yeah. Facts. And we got to be open.
Right.
Like, I feel like we too scared to let people know how we feel nowadays.
Yeah.
And that's from both sides, because it's like I might tell you how I feel and you get offended. Nah, that's how I feel.
Right.
You offended me.
Yeah.
So it's either where we go from here. I'm gonna tell you offended me, and you apologize. But I feel like we need to be open. Like, like for example, again, like the other day, somebody came to the food truck and they thought my wife was someone else. They were like, "Oh, is somebody inside? I saw you inside selling the roses." That's what they told my wife, and I was like, she was like,
motherfucker.
But my wife, like, I love how she carries herself. She's not always. Sometimes she can snap, but
right.
when she's in work mode, she knows how to carry herself.
Right.
She's like, that's not me. But as soon as they walked away, she was like, damn, man, like that's fucked up. all black people look alike. Like, what? If I was like, nah, babe, like, think. She probably a little drunk.
Right.
She probably, we don't always have to go to 10.
Yeah.
Like,
it's understood. Or it's understandable. And, it could have just been a legitimate
mistake.
Yeah. And some people are not very observant of details and who people are. And,
yeah.
But it also could be like underlying ignorance. You know what I mean?
Like, you don't even know where it is nowadays.
But I mistake people for people all the time. White people too. Well, like I was up here one day and this girl walked in and I was like, yo, what did I call her? I called her the wrong name and I was sure that's who it was. Sure of it. And she's like, no, I'm Becca, Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I called her Gabby. And she's like, no, I'm Becca. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's
like
embarrassing. Yeah.
Very embarrassing.
Yeah.
And you feel terrible because you always want to
But they should understand. Like, you see like 100 people a day.
Right.
And you gotta somehow I don't know how you do it, bro. But
it's important to me. That's why, because some people are like, oh, I'm not good with names and whatnot. And I get it, because names are hard. But to me, it's something I value incredibly high.
I feel you.
So I'm very intentional about names, to the point where when somebody walks away, first of all, I've learned that if you can't remember somebody's name, the best thing to do is ask them again. So I used to be embarrassed when I couldn't remember somebody's name.
I did it to Danielle.
Yeah.
Like a couple times. I call her Daniela.
Oh, that happens a lot. Okay. That's okay. That's even if you call her the wrong name. So, but I would do the whole, "What's up, slugger? What's up, champ? How you doing, Hoss?" Because you can't remember their name. You've seen them tons of times. It was at some point several years ago, many years ago now, that I realized the best thing for me to do is say, "Dude, you got to remind me of your first name." Right?
And that's more real. That's real.
Oh, now you're being real. Now they're going to respect you even more because you kept it real with them.
Yeah.
But then when I do that, then I have this exercise that I do where first I try to do association and I say it out loud. I'm like, my uncle's name is Bert. How could I forget that? My uncle's name's not Bert. And then I say it 3 times, which everybody says this, but it works. And then when you're leaving the conversation, you say their name again. All right, Bert, good to meet you, bro. And then as I walk away, this is like overkill, but I'm like, Bert. Because I want Bert to know the next time I see him that I valued the conversation we had, and I want to like him. There's a great feeling you get when somebody knows your name. Remember that there's that show Cheers? I mean, I don't think it could get any whiter right now than saying fucking Cheers. There's this show Cheers. It's about a bar or whatever, and the theme song is a place where someone knows your name. Where anytime somebody walked in, I don't really know the show either. My dad makes the fucking reference all the time. I don't know it either. But when somebody walks in, they're always, you call them by their name, So anyway, that's why I try to be very good about it, because I just think it's so valuable,
I'm just horrible with names. Like,
I mean,
I can barely remember half the shit. I feel like it's. My thing with this year is I started writing a lot of stuff down, which I never used to do. So I hope I don't sound stupid saying this. Like sometimes I look at the brain, it's kind of like a computer, a hard drive, and then like I'll be like, I don't want to fill it up with too much shit.
Oh, that's fair.
I don't want it to overload. So, but I'm always thinking of something. Sometimes like I'm talking to somebody, I'm like, I wonder how much shrimp I gotta buy tomorrow.
Yeah. That's ADD.
Yeah, and then like I'm like, shit. Okay, stop, calm down. You know, get back to it. And then you're like, damn, look, I didn't forget what I was talking about just now. So, like, it all depends, bro. Like,
oh, I understand. What you're saying is that you've got so many things going on in your brain. You're one trying to keep up with the conversation, stay engaged in the conversation because you got so much shit happening.
And then I'm like, oh shit, I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
That's you know, there's exercises that you can do, and it's like focus. I'm like severe ADD, ADHD, you know, but I have these things that I do. I challenge myself to work on being present and being focused and repeat what people say to me.
Something you learned from professional help or just picked up along the way?
Great question. I think it's something that my dad had taught me because he saw me struggling in different instances, and my parents have always known I struggle with ADD or ADHD, but then it was really more personal for me. I realized it was inhibiting my interpersonal communications, and which I value highly. You know, I fucking love people, and I love, you know, like the relationships with people. So in my own time, I always like to reflect, like, what am I doing or what can I do differently so I can be a better communicator, you know? And I just try to learn these different skills to focus on what people are saying and whatnot. Because it used to be real bad. We'd be having this conversation, bro, and I would fucking turn around and walk away because something popped in my mind. And then
my brother's like that. The one I brought, the light skinned dude.
Jay.
Yeah, Lonnie. And then Lonnie. Oh yeah, you call him Jay. Yeah, never mind.
No, his name's not.
It's Jelani, but you're right. It's Lonnie. Yeah.
Okay.
You said Jay. Like nobody call him Jay. Well, I get it. I get it. Jay Jelani.
Well, I think he said he asked me to.
He probably.
Cool.
Said that. But we're
talking about the same
he's
guy.
Like, he's like the same way, bro. He's like. You be like, yeah, bro. And yesterday, I was in the back, and then he'll start listening to you. He'd be like, I'll be like, bro, I'm talking to you. And then he'd be like, oh, my bad, bro. I was thinking about some shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, it happens.
Well, it's also it's a sign of a high intelligence. A very high IQ. Your brain is firing so much brain signals, so much activity, so many different things you're thinking about. It's, you know, ADD and high IQs. It goes hand in hand, you know, which is an interesting thing to think about. It's kind of one of the challenges for like highly intellectual people, that it's hard to stay focused on one thing because you're thinking about a million different things.
Picking up multitasking since I've been on the food truck.
Yeah.
Hard.
Very.
I think that's impossible. No one person can do many things at once.
Yeah.
I don't really think it's really possible. But for example, I'm in there, I'm chopping veggies. I got chicken on the flat top. I got steak on the grill. I got pasta boiling. I got wings in the fryer. I got salmon bites in the left fryer.
Yeah, you're like an octopus.
Yeah, so it's like you're, and at the same time you vibing the music and thinking about you gonna do the next day. So it's like boom, your mind is always working out, bro. Yeah. And I'll be like, I can't remember this stuff. Like sometimes my friends be like, yeah, bro, you remember last week I told you I was like, did I pick up my phone and put it in the calendar? He was like, oh, I'm like, I really don't remember. When you tell me something, what's the first thing I do? You'd be like, oh, I'm having an event Friday. I'd be like, Blake's having an event Friday. You using that,
using it as a tool to help you. I get it. I
cannot remember shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Horrible.
I get it. Well, you know, multitasking with ADD, like I used to say I'm good at multitasking because of my ADD, but I was wrong. Actually, what would happen is I would never finish anything.
nothing.
So now what I do when I'm behind the bar is I finish my task at hand, and then quickly, timely, move on to the next task at hand.
Yeah.
And then over time, you learn how to juggle 3 or 4 of those things. And you just like constant mental checklist. There's all sorts of different tricks you can do. But hey, man, I'd watch you fucking, do that fucking dance in that food truck, and you're fucking good at it, dude.
I love it, man, for real. Hey, I admire a lot of what you do, bro.
Thank you,
for
bro.
real, like real G shit. From I don't even know where to start. Like me, I always have like.
Hold on, Allie, 1 second.
Yeah.
Brooklyn and Zach, before y'all leave, I'm gonna be coming down in a minute to do a shot with y'all. Cool. Sorry, but thank you, bro.
Like, from little details to how you built the place like this, taking advantage of that, every little inch of space in there to put stuff. I told you about the backsplash on the toilet. Like, I was like, bro, that's genius. Like, the bar and the lights and these little intricate details to the place, bro. Like, y'all really, I admire what y'all do, man. You and your wife, y'all's relationship, how y'all feed off of each other's energy.
Thank you.
And I really want to know, what the fuck do you do to have the same energy every fucking day, Blake? Like, I admire.
Kratom, Kratom. It's a delicious food we sell here at Hakuna.
Yo, you're right. And
it gives me it makes the monotonous much less monotonous. I say that kind of jokingly, but I found it's an incredible tool for me. But then it's also the fucking undying fear of failure, man. Like, failure's not an option. Our last business because of COVID was killed. It's like, and I know nobody else is going to do it. Not only that, I got a fucking amazing wife who I want to be a fucking hero to.
Yeah.
I want her to admire everything I do. And whenever I'm half-stepping or fucking slacking, she's going to feel the repercussions of that. So I just, I don't want to be a fucking loser. And I don't want her to feel like, man, I fucking married the wrong fucking guy. So every day I fucking tie my fucking shoes and I'm like, all right, let me fucking get after it. And dude, I get stressed to the max, and I feel like there's no way I'm going to be able to do all this. But then I look back and we fucking opened a fucking business after our last business failed because of COVID.
You still can't believe it, right?
We signed a lease in the middle of a global pandemic. I never used a saw in my life, and we built this fucking place. So anytime now, this was great for me because when I come across something that fucking freaks me out, am I going to be able to do it? I just think, bro, global pandemic, built a business from the ground up, learned how to do it. Bro, you can do anything.
Facts.
So I have faith. I also look to God, for strength and guidance, definitely. And then just, again, gratitude. I'm thankful for the opportunity to keep going.
You have amazing people in your circle, man. From the people that I see, around you with their energy, how they love you. So, I mean, that just shows me you're a good guy and you're genuine to everybody. And you mean what you say and you do what you do out of the kindness of your heart. So you're gonna go a long way, my brother. I feel like you need to hear that. And as lame ass men that try to be all hard and shit, it's lame. We need to give each other our roses. Yeah. You feel me? I am never scared to let my boy know, bro, you doing good this week. You got some money in, bro. Great job. Let's get it again next week. So I feel like we tend to think like it's lame to do that, when it's okay to lift each other up. I need that shit sometimes. Sometimes a little text from my homeboy would be like, hey, good shit, bro. Keep it up. Me and my brother, we text each other every morning and we try to give each other some kind of motivation. And even if sometimes in the back of my head I'm like, man, fuck this, I don't want to do this shit today. Yeah. But when I get that text back, he like, yo, bro, let's go, let's get this. I got this plan, boom, boom, boom. Hell yeah. Yeah. That feels great. So I'm gonna give you your roses, bro. Good shit. Continue what you're doing.
Thank you,
keep on having the same energy, bro. And I'm taking notes, my G. Don't take nothing I say lightly. I'm really taking notes, and and everything you've done for us, bro. Like, we appreciate everything, bro. Opening your doors to us. Thank you. I appreciate it. And shout out to everybody in my circle, man. My wife, my team, my cousin Kaz, my boy Q, Token, Lonnie, everybody. I can't even go down the list right now. It's too many people. Irma, Sonya. I love all of y'all, man. These are the people that make me who I am today. You feel me? Like it's been times when I'm stressing. It's 4 hours before I gotta open. I went a little over budget. I need a couple $100, you know? And my friends are like, oh, here, pay me back at the end of the night. You feel me? This is the things I love and appreciate. So I'm gonna always be this person to the day I die. And they gonna always have me, and I'm gonna always have them. So I appreciate y'all, man, and I appreciate you.
I love that.
Like, for real, man.
I appreciate you, Ali.
Anytime,
I'm so
bro.
glad that we met. And let's continue this conversation in the future, man. Let's sit down and fucking.
I want to do a round two. This is fun. I would like to do a round two with my wife.
Oh yeah, okay, dope.
Me, you, and Danielle and my wife.
Cool. I gotta figure out how to fit it all on the camera here, or what we might do is figure out how to do a round table, because we've had a discussion on how we can have more than one guest or 4 people talking, and a round table would be dope. We will figure it out. At the very least, maybe I can get Shardae to come on, and her and I can do a one-to-one. And then also, if you're ever interested in doing a podcast and talking food and passion and love and romance and family, you two can come up here and sit.
Oh, that would be dope.
And have a conversation, because this is open to y'all as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of topics that I would love to talk about. Hell yeah, I'm
cool.
down. Yeah, I'm down.
All right, no homo.
Thank you for having me, man.
I love you, bro.
I love you too, bro. You ain't gotta say no homo after that, bro. It's all love.
Respect. You guys, thank you so much for sitting in on this conversation. If you want to follow Ali and Mellow Munchiez on social media, it is at Mellow Munchiez with a Z, I-E-Z.
Yep.
And mellowmunchiez.com.
Yeah, shopmellowmunchiez.com. You can go check out. Yeah, you can go check out everything we got. We got merch dropping really soon. Also, if Blake's open to selling some of our punches.
Mellow Munchiez, it comes from it's infused sometimes with herbs.
The punches are not infused. They're just like our regular
straight up. Okay, so, cool.
Yeah, they will be available.
Ali is a very talented chef. His food is absolutely delicious. He and his team are regularly here Tuesday nights, Saturday nights, and Sunday nights. Please come sample the fare. It is delicious, and we just appreciate you guys so much. Come show your love to Ali in person.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Thanks, Ali.
Blake, always my guy.
I'll see you soon, man.
Yeah, definitely.
One more drink before we go.
Hell
and
yeah,
then I'll send your ass back to the missus.
Yeah, I actually got to go prep for tomorrow. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, y'all. See you next time.
Yo, that was